In the name of God, gracious and merciful, peace be upon Prophet Muhammad, Your Excellencies the Ministers, Your Excellencies the Deputies, the participants in this summit, Assalamu alaikum. The reality of the Ministry of Education in Iraq is that in the current time and after having a new regime, they have to actually solve the problems which Iraq suffered from in the previous period, which is lack of development and building. We are facing a great challenge represented by the lack of the school buildings, and you know that leads to the double shifts and sometimes triple shifts actually, which three schools going to the same school on three shifts, and that leads to a lot of problems eventually. In the previous years, we were suffering and we were struggling to solve this problem. However, we still haven't reached the required solution. We have now 22,000 elementary and secondary schools, and we have 14,000 buildings. So this is the first challenge that we are posing in front of anybody who wants to participate, or in front of the companies that can participate in this field, in addition to the local companies that are carrying out the building process. So in the current time, we decided to solve this problem in a decentralized way. So the buildings were given to the governorates, each governorate by itself, to achieve these buildings which are allocated for this year. We have set a plan for 5 years, and within the coming 5 years, we hope to solve the problem in front of us. The other area that we were working on is equipping the schools with the labs, and also equipping schools with technology. We are still beginners in this issue because the technology was newly introduced to the education in Iraq. Some of the schools, we have them as distinguished, or schools for the distinguished, and the public schools for the other students. And also we have the private education that we were encouraging in the recent years, and the number of the private schools have been increased in the previous years. So we are seeking to equip our schools with technology, modern technology, and to integrate and to finish the process of equipping our labs. In the curricula area, we have been working on developing the curricula, and since 5 years, we have started in developing the curricula. We developed all the curricula nearly, and we are in the last phase of applying the new curricula to introduce it to the education. We are facing a problem in the phase of developing the curricula, which is the English language. We have a good cooperation with the British Council and other companies in order to benefit from their expertise in this area. The other issues, we have a general problem, or maybe a special problem for Iraq, which is writing the or making the history and the Islamic education curriculums. I think this is a problem that is shared by many Arab countries, and I believe that the history and the Islamic education must be established in the way that is satisfying for all. So we try to take into consideration all the sects in Iraq in order to be fair, because we cannot teach everything. because there are many theories and this issue is still under process. The other area which we worked on is the training. We have organized trainings, on-job trainings for the teachers, and we included thousands of teachers in these workshops, and we are still going in this process. Also, we have a plan to benefit from the advanced countries in order to have maybe a cooperation regarding training our teachers, and we will go forward with this. The other area that I would like to talk about is that this summit and the other summits and forums give a great interest to introducing technology to education. Here I am putting a question. Of course, introducing technology to administrative areas and life aspects facilitate life and development in all of its aspects. However, introducing technology to the classroom, does that raise the scientific level? And I would like to ask that does the advanced countries which introduced the technology to the classrooms, do they find that there was a development in the scientific overall level for the students? This is the first maybe a point that I would like to raise in front of this summit and the ArabBrains organization, as they are interested in such areas in order to pass such experiences to other countries. The other important thing is that we try to take into consideration the job market, and we always try to have the subjects in the education which can be in line at least with the labor market. The question is, do our curriculums go forward with developing the human resources? Because education is the habilitation, is to give values before education itself, before you give the science. So through the education, we want to build the good person, the good human, the committed human that will be beneficial for their country. So do our curriculums build these kinds of humans, and did we put to the labor market or send to the labor market good people to serve the country? I don't want to only to focus on science, because some science, the science would be actually harmful for some people who will take the science to hurt other people. So moving away from the right values of Islam, I believe it is the main reason of destruction in most of the countries. We did not give our Islam its right, and we gave it a very unfair attitude. I have participated in many workshops and conferences which are interested in the civil education and the curriculum of civil education and the civil values which the world cares about. So, for everybody who wants to research in this issue will find that the Islamic education and the Islamic values are ahead of all of these civil education. The right Islamic values that were taken from the Prophet Muhammad, they are the most sophisticated values and more sophisticated than what is given in other countries, going from other resources. I see that there is a conspiracy against the Islam through coming up with what is called the new Islam, that is terrorists and that is practicing violence. And I believe this is a problem, and this is a great problem that we are all suffering from. So the education must have a great role in fighting this new Islam that is not right, and to introduce the right Islam that Prophet Muhammad came with. Because in Quran, the Quran mentioned Prophet Muhammad saying that your manners were the greatest, and other verses like the Islam is only brought to the humanity for the mercy. So this is the religion of mercy, religion of forgiving, religion of development, of thinking, of creation. So the right Islam must be introduced to our generation in order to make them ready to fight the new campaign, which is trying to take our young people to believe in values that were never from Islam, that some people want to create in our world. So I say that the education must give a great interest to this issue, the area of human development, and there must be a higher committee, maybe by one of the Arab organizations or international organizations, in order to prepare curricula, or at least to include the right Islamic education and civil education in order to raise the awareness of our young people to face this kind of conspiracy. I wish you all the success in these meetings in order to reach what is beneficial for everybody. Thank you very much.